Solo show, very expensive. Instagram gets a lot of hate, but I feel like my life would be like a lot different without it. And then the car comes directly towards me and like takes out my legs.
Yo, we're back with the Walkie Talkie. Got the homie Rhonda with me today. Rhonda, what's up?
Hi, I'm Rhonda. I'm from San Francisco. Just want to specify that not all black people in the Bay Area are from Oakland. I'm from San Francisco. Second or third generation, however you count it, because my grandparents moved here when they were young. And I have 2 cameras here and then one in my bag. But I shoot mainly point and shoot cameras. So I got this one and this one. They're like the same focal length, but this one's not so good in like darker areas. So I got this one too. This one is the Minolta AF-C, but it's like a rare version. Because it goes up to 1000 ISO, the normal one only goes up to 400. And then this one's the Ricoh TF-500, which actually has 2 lenses in it, 35 and a 70. I have Portrait 800 in both of them, and then this one also reads 800 as 1000 ISO, but it doesn't really matter. It's not much of a difference, so you don't have to like have it pushed or anything.
And why do you carry 2 cameras?
Well, I mainly like shoot with film, so if I run out of film, I want to have a backup. Like different point and shoots have different like quirks about them. Like I mentioned, this one's not so great in like shadowy areas. I also like to take a lot of pictures like on the bus. This one, you also get a lot of like, I don't know, like camera shake, taking pictures on the bus. And then this one's a lot better for that.
Where are we today and where are we going to be ending up and shooting?
Well, we're in Union Square right now, but we're gonna stop by like the Castro, the Mission area.
So you've been collecting audio clips of just like city sounds and things interesting you've been hearing. And then you paired that with the zine that you had.
Yeah.
How long ago did you release that zine?
It was 2 years ago, because it was for, well, I guess a little over 2 years ago, because it's for my 34th birthday. And then initially I said I was gonna release 34, because they're kind of expensive to make. But a lot of people wanted it, so I actually ended up like making around like 100 total.
So with the clips, you put like a little QR code that relates to the
there's like
photo?
a picture on each page. There's a picture on top and a QR code on the bottom.
The photo, was it always you recorded it and the photo was of that, or is it just like?
No, I think there was only like one where the photo and the audio were actually made together. Everything else was separate, and I just thought they went well together.
Okay, cool, yeah. And so there's no more of those?
No. If people want more, I'll make more, but I'm also thinking of doing a volume 2.
So is this like typically like when you're walking around, is your camera, you just picked up your camera, but is it typically hanging, phone in hand, camera in the other hand?
Yeah, it's pretty common. It can vary though, so I like to have the straps where you can have them around your neck or around your wrist, because sometimes you need both hands. I used to have a Mewtwo, which is like very popular around here, but I broke it because I had it on my wrist and I was trying to open a door and just dropped on concrete. But I have like 60 cameras now anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Gosh, 60.
Yeah.
Mostly point and shoots.
Yeah, but I have like a handful of SLRs and a couple of rangefinders and a Rollei 35, which I don't know how you categorize that really.
If you have 60 cameras, how often are you kind of switching between them and using different ones?
It's really hard to say. Sometimes I'll just like get stuck on like using the same one for like months. And then I'll also like put different rolls in different cameras and like take a few pictures, kind of put it away and forget about it. Yeah. Then think I haven't used it in a while, thinking I'm gonna put a new roll of film in, there's already roll of film in there.
And if you're looking to buy your next camera, look no further than KH.com. They have a large inventory of over 60,000 items. So if you're looking to stockpile point and shoots like Rhonda, or if you're looking for DSLRs, rangefinders, and really anything you need, they have it in stock. Browse the selection right now using the link in the description of this video. And you can buy with confidence knowing that your order comes with a 180-day warranty. And on top of that, there's a 21-day return policy. So don't hesitate, use that link, buy your next camera with KEH. Back to the video.
And I also have like cameras I'm planning to bring on Sunday for the Super Bowl, to watch Super Bowl. and hopefully shoot Super Bowl celebrations. Yeah, if I saw something around here, I wouldn't use the silver camera because it's like kind of dark, but I'd use this one.
Like your mind is already thinking about that, right? Is it like something you have to think of? Do you ever miss a shot because you have to switch cameras?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I have the multiple cameras so I can try not to miss a shot, but it doesn't always work.
So SFC PC, that's something that you joined. Like, how did you get into it? What is it?
Well, it's like a group of us, like-minded people, like into street photography and stuff. I feel like nearly all of us shoot film. It's not a requirement, just like happened to be that way. We would get together, do photo critiques. We would have shows and put zines together, stuff like that.
When did it start?
I think it started in 2017, but I joined in 2019, which is right before the pandemic.
What is like something that you've learned from that you don't think you would have learned otherwise if it wouldn't have been for that group?
Well, I think just like having other people look at my photos and give feedback in general is very helpful. It's very like motivating. I don't know, just have like friends who are like into the same kind of thing and they're doing it and you're like, I want to be more active too, I guess. But yeah, I feel like since then, like even though it's been kind of dormant, there's been like the community here is like really expanded.
Your experience like photographing New York, how does it compare to like the day in, day out of shooting around here?
Well, I feel like because there's like a lot more people around for the most part. You just like run into more things over there. Here it might take a bit longer for me to finish a roll. I think I was there for like, what was it, 9 days? So I had a couple like multi-roll days and, well, I remember when the Warriors won, the NBA championship last time, that was a multi-roll time because of all the celebrating. Yeah. So something like that, I'll get multi-rolls, but day to day, I don't.
So you did a group zine, a group show. You also did your first solo show last year?
Oh yeah, that was last March.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
How do you compare doing a group show versus doing a solo show, and like how do those two experiences kind of like compare to each other?
Solo show, very expensive, but I thought it was worth it. You know what they say about like experiences versus things or whatever? That's one of those that I thought was worth spending lots and lots of money on. My friend Tofe, who had a show at the same location, told the owner about me, and she messaged me and asked me if I was interested in having a show there as well. It's a little flower shop.
So it kind of sprung up out of just networking and just a part of the community.
Yeah.
Like one thing led to another. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Which reminds me, I feel like Instagram gets a lot of hate, but I feel like my life would be like a lot different without it, because like none of these things would have come about if I didn't start sharing my photos. I've been hit by like a plastic car trying to get a shot, which somebody caught on video. But I don't want to get like hit by a real car, so I didn't like try to get it because that would have been a disaster. But yeah, I was at the Dolores Hill bomb a couple of years ago, and a big crowd comes out to like watch them take photos, people like me, and I've been waiting all day because this guy kept like jumping over people who were like this one guy driving a little car, there's people like kind of laying down on their boards, this guy would like jump over them. And I'd been waiting all day to get a photo of somebody jumping, and I missed one because I was holding my friend's purse. This guy was like driving a little toy car, and I could see the guy preparing to jump. So I'm like, I have to get this one, been waiting all day. And then I get it, and then the car comes directly towards me and like takes out my legs, and I fall like into the car next to the guy, which I was hoping like somebody got a photo of that. If anybody did, I haven't seen it. But people got me getting hit on video. And I was actually only in pain for like 5 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. That's well worth the photo.
Yeah.
How long you been working at PhotoWorks?
3.5 years. This is one of my many cameras. I keep this one here for the series.
Heck yeah.
Ready?
I think so.
Yeah, cool. And you have to sign it.
How many of these do you have?
I have like 100, I think. So these are all the signed ones, and then I have a bunch few that I still have to get signed. Yeah.
Wow. What's the plan with these then?
No plan currently, but Nora, who used to work here, she has a magazine called Pamplemousse, and she did a little feature including some of these, and I did an interview about that. For some reason, this one sells better than this one, which I think that this one's better, but these are all like back shots, and I called it Bay Area Backroads because there's this like local TV show called Bay Area Backroads, and I also made this like little spines, so it's a pun.
And these are still available. People can you buy these online from you or what?
People just message me on Instagram or something. Okay. This is at a Muni Depot in Euclid and Masonic. And I knew the goats were coming. So there's an organization that has them like chew up the grass for fire prevention. So I woke up early to go and take pictures before work one day. And this was actually the first one on the roll that I shot. And also took it with a tiny little point and shoot. So if you get a good scan, you can like blow them up to like this.
So you're born and bred SF. How do you think being from here, being a native from here, comes across in your photography, whereas somebody who's like not from here or just moved here or as like a transplant, like how would that differ?
Well, I guess it depends, because like you could be like not from here and kind of take the same photos, I think, but some people are, I don't know, freaked out by like public transportation and stuff. But I've been taking it my whole life, so it doesn't really freak me out. Whereas somebody who's like newer here might get freaked out by that. So like that's like a big part of my life. So I take a lot of photos there. For me, like when I see like San Francisco movies and stuff, I like noticing little things where like I know that was where that was shot or whatever. And I feel like for people who really like know the city like intimately, you can see little details in my photos where you're like, I know that was taken in San Francisco and not somewhere else.
Are there things that you kind of wish you had documented more with the city changing so often, or?
Well, I feel like it's always changing. So I feel like that's one thing that's consistent, is always changing. Yeah. But there are like specific memories that I have where I wish I was taking the type of photos that I take now. I've like literally been taking photos for like 25 years, but only like the kind of photos I take that you see on my Instagram or whatever for like 10 years. But when I was like a kid, one like strong memory I have is being on the bus, somebody getting off the bus with their wheelchair, you know, they had to let down the ramp on the curb. The thing got stuck to the curb. And so like a whole bunch of middle schoolers got off the bus and helped like raise the bus off the curb. Yeah, so like having a photo of something like that would have been great. Yeah, so it's like little specific things like that. Like maybe a place that's not there anymore. Like I used to take karate class, this place on Mission Street that's not there anymore. And I think it became like a bar that's also closed now.
What are your triggers? Photography triggers?
Like that triggers me to take a photo?
Yeah, things that you gravitate towards when you're out here.
Well, I think like people like pointing at something, animals, just like something where I mentioned like having like little details that tell you it was taken in San Francisco. Like if I can frame something the right way, like even if it's like something that's kind of interesting looking, I might not take a photo. Also like religious stuff, I guess. I feel like I have a lot of photos of like religious things.
Is that because are you a religious person?
Not really. I don't know what it is.
Favorite places in the city to shoot?
Pretty much anywhere, because I bring my camera everywhere with me. Like always got to be prepared. Well, I guess like when I used to live in Visitation Valley, I did like kind of feeling like not that many other people are taking photos out here, so they're like more unique, I guess. That was cool. Got into shooting downtown like inspired by other friends, so I like to do that. But I guess honestly, like my favorite is just like taking pictures from the bus, because you get like a different way of framing things than you do walking.
And you still use those point and shoots? Do you ever feel like you wish you had like a longer focal length shooting through bus windows?
No, I think sometimes I want like a wider one. There's one time there's this like rusted out car like right next to the bus, and I feel like I didn't get much of it because I didn't have like a wide enough angle.
So like who are some other names in the community do you think act as like glue that holds everybody together, and why?
Well, I feel like Troy's just like a big inspiration for like everybody. I feel like everybody you ask for like inspiration in the city, they'll say Troy or like Dave Root. I definitely have to say Adam is putting together these group shows because like he's like bringing together like almost 70 photographers for like one project. He initiated like all of that out of like an idea that like popped in his head. So I think that's like a insane thing to do. I can't imagine that. I hate having to like wrangle groups together.
Hey, want me to take a picture with you?
Oh no! I'm gonna take it.
I'm not gonna tag it. That's it.
Huh.
Okay, if we throw hand signs or no? That's what we gonna do. You can walk it out.
If you feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I go on right now.
I got it. Yeah. Feel like I always run into somebody that I know when I'm in the mission.
You just meet people just by like being
Well, I
out?
know him like going to like photography stuff.
Oh, okay.
Then I also went to middle school in the mission.
You also started that group or club that meant to kind of showcase women photographers and non-binaries. Is that still active? Is that something still active?
Yeah. Well, my friend Ollie, it was all her idea. She like roped me into it, and I was down. And we're actually us like 3 or 4 who me, Ollie, Camila, and Yuri are gonna meet together at the beginning of March, which is Women's History Month, by the way, and kind of discuss how we're gonna like go forward and stuff. Okay. But we have had 2 successful photo walks that we did last year.
What do you think like the greater photo community can do to help support and just create a better space for those groups?
I don't know, I guess just like listen if somebody tells you like they had a bad experience and stuff, and don't get defensive, I guess. I can't speak like personally to having like a lot of bad experiences, but I know like I've seen other people like describe theirs, and people just like get really defensive and don't want to like listen to what they have to say, which doesn't help things.
What are some challenges that you face being a woman photographer, especially doing street photography?
Well, I guess like just like cat callers, which like every woman has to deal with.
Yeah.
Oh, little doggies. Well, I went to PhotoWorks earlier so I could grab the tote bag because I forgot to bring one home the other day. And like on my way there, I got cat called like entering Powell Station. They were like, take a photo of me and all that crap, and just gotta ignore it, I guess.
You into photo books?
Oh, yeah, that's how I got into street photography, basically. But there's this exhibit at called, I forget what the C stands for, CJM, something Jewish Museum. They had an exhibit about the New York Photo League. I feel like I started looking at like photographers then, and then I bought a lot of like books from like New York street photographers and stuff. I didn't even know like the term street photography. I think like one thing that really like triggered me to like do my own photos was like buying Fred Lyon's book, who was a San Francisco photographer who passed away in the past couple of years, but he was like 90 something, and actually got to meet him like 3 times. Wow. The first time I met him, he asked me if I like took pictures, and I'm like, yeah, I'm the one taking pictures of my friends and stuff, and he told me to like keep going. So that little thing was like, it's like very short conversation, but very like inspirational. I actually wasn't taking a lot of photos at the time because I had like a mainly digital phase, because like when I started taking photos, film was like the only viable thing for like an average person. So I would buy like disposable cameras and bring them to school. And then and I used to like look at digital cameras back when they still had like floppy disk storage and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I want that. And eventually, when like digital cameras became more affordable, I really wanted one. But in between that, I had like some point and shoot I don't remember, and I got a Nikon FM10 for my 16th birthday. But like a few years after that, I was like really fixated on getting a digital camera. Then I finally got one. I got a couple actually, but over time I started like using them less and less because I got tired of like managing the battery and stuff. And then it got so I wasn't really bringing my cameras anywhere. And then, so I was like thinking about like Fred Lyon and stuff, and I'm thinking, well, he used film, what's wrong with coming back to film? So I did. So I initially started with like my original FM10, which I still have. It doesn't work anymore, and this place said it wasn't worth like trying to fix, so I bought a new one. So I started like the journey, street photography journey, like with an SLR, and then I think I read somewhere that Troy used the Mewtwo, so I got one of those.
Are there any other photo books that you feel like had a big impact on your photography?
I don't know about like any others in like particular. I feel like just all of them as a whole were really influential. One of the only other ones I like specifically like remember when I bought it is John Harding's book, The Analog Days. I went to this exhibit, I think it was this place called Ricoh Center that's like closed now. The book was just like there, and I thought, wow, this is really good, and I bought it. And I like still remember like when I bought it, and it turned out it's like kind of hard to get now, so I got lucky. But that one's really influential. Like his photos feel very like San Francisco photos. Like that's the kind of thing I'm going for. Like, you know, these photos were taken in San Francisco. Like all of John Harding photos, like you can tell.
I'm not sure how recent it was, but you've done like Instagram takeovers, like NYC SBC, I think Women in Street was another one. Can you just talk through that experience, how it came about, and like what did you learn from looking through like your friends' work and your own work and sharing that with people that aren't really familiar with?
Well, the NYC SBC takeover happened because Chris Voss asked me to do it, and I think we discussed it after I randomly ran into him in the Mission one day, and then eventually messaged me on Instagram with like a couple other people from that club. I was really excited to do that one because I knew like pretty much everything would be like fresh for that like New York audience. So I just like wrangled almost everyone that I knew to like send me photos so I could share them with the New York account. But I really enjoyed the experience, and I made little videos that were about people in the community doing things like Emmanuel with his Swap Film Co., Black and White Film Service, my friend Bobo with his Color Darkroom, Photo Laundry. They do like more things than that too now. Like you can like go rent scanners, I think. So it was great just like show everybody like things we have going on here. Ooh, can I get a photo of you here? Like this? I think I should turn the flash on. Thank you. Glad he was like sitting there, because like I feel like I'm bad at like posing people, but I'm good at like seeing when people are already doing like a pose that's nice. Yeah. And like, keep doing that, I have to get that. So I'm really impressed by like pose portraits, because I'm like, how do you know what to tell people, how to tell people to do that? I want to see if it's kind of turned the wrong way. I wanted to like get the guy's paintbrush in there, and then the guy kind of turned, but then the guy like started running underneath, and then I was like, oh, this looks more interesting now.
I think earlier we mentioned you have started going to the Darkroom.
Oh yeah.
right? And pretty. Where do you go? Like, you don't? Is it in your apartment or?
Oh no, it's
community
the
room?
Harvey Milk Center, which is part of the San Francisco Rec and Park Department. So my friend Marcus, Marcus, Ray, and Pavel, they all have helped me like learn how to darkroom print, which is nice because I didn't have to like pay to take a class.
Printing your own work, I feel like, is a whole different experience and develops like a whole different relationship with your photos. Is there anything you've changed, or has it impacted the way you photograph or even looked at photographs?
Well, I feel like I kind of like look more closely at photos now. I don't think it's changed like the way I shoot or anything though. I feel like when you like print stuff, you can like see more things that you might have missed before.
With all these prints you're doing, what do you have planned like with them? Because I feel like you're amassing them up. They're kind of piling up. What are you gonna do with them?
Yeah, well, for a lot of them, I actually gave a bunch as like thank you gifts last year to friends who came to my solo show. Other ones, I'm like unsure of. They just go in an envelope for now.
All right, finish the sentence. I take photos because
it's fun, and I'm all about having fun and enjoying myself. That's why I have all the activities. I just like people carrying stuff. I guess that's a trigger.
Yo, that's gonna do it for this episode of Walkie Talkie. Rhonda, thanks for hanging out with me today.
Yeah, thanks, Paulie.
Yeah, let the people know where they can find your work or where they can show you some love.
Well, my Instagram is Ronad SF, RONAD SF, just kind of misspelling my name, then SF. I also have zines for sale at PhotoWorks.
If you're not in SF, you can DM.
You can DM me on Instagram, and I'll definitely send you one.
Word. All right, thank you.
I mean, you have to buy it, but yeah.
All right, peace.
Now when they see us in the streets, all they wanna do